news. We'll get to Rick Bucher in just a couple of minutes. I always say the good shows, Ashley, are the ones that feel fast. We're flying, right?
That felt like 20 minutes. We could go all day, Danny.
I got a flight to catch, but that's fine. Yeah. We'll go the allotted time.
There are many other talent on this network that need to get some airtime, not us, but this has been a lot of fun.
If they want us to do a marathon, though, we're, of course, ready for the call. And it would not be the herd without a list. Love making lists. And so decided before we get to Rick Bucher here, I'm going to do top 10 quarterbacks that I would start a franchise with. Now, this is, age is a factor. Contract is a factor. Talent is a factor. So you're starting a franchise today. Every quarterback is available. You're trying to win this year, but also be good for the next decade. That's the parameter for this list. Let's begin.
Number 1.
When John Elway was up for the Hall of Fame, the guy stood up and said, John Elway, and he sat back down. I will just say Patrick Mahomes, and I'm already seated, but you get the point.
Number 2.
Josh Allen. I think he's the second best player in football. Led the NFL in total touchdowns last year, regular season, postseason, with 51, 10 more than any other quarterback. He was the offense. They're going to give him more of a running game to make it a little bit more balanced. I don't think the Stephon Diggs injury will be too bad. But again, it's just about the talent. And other than Mahomes, he's the most talented player at the most significant position.
Number 3.
Justin Herbert. This is an eye test thing. He doesn't have the playoff win. Okay, fine. But it's like the Uncle Rico. The guy could throw the ball over the mountain. Like, he is so smart, so accurate. He could beat you with precision. He could beat you with big plays. He is everything you want in a franchise quarterback. And I think with the Harbaugh pairing, he's now going to start winning big. Harbaugh's won at every level. There is no doubt in my mind that Justin Herbert is a franchise quarterback who can win big and is one of the best, most talented players in all of football.
Number 4.
CJ Stroud. Now, this is the guy who's accomplished the least of the guys in the top 4. But that rookie season, you think of great rookie seasons in NFL quarterback history. You think Andrew Luck, you think RG3, you think Cam Newton, you think Justin Herbert. You now have to think CJ Stroud. He won a playoff game. He threw for over 4,000 yards. You could have counted the interceptions that he had last year on one hand, taking care of the ball but still having the big play capability. People weren't talking about Tank Dell before the season. The Texans might have found the guy that can take good player, Nico Collins, Tank Dell. They're clearly good, but he made them great. So that's a really special trait in a quarterback. And he didn't blink come the playoffs. CJ Stroud at number 4.
Number 5.
Lamar Jackson. Now, he's expensive, and you don't know how it's going to age, but you absolutely know that when you get him, as long as he is healthy and in his athletic prime, which should be still years to come, he's one of the toughest players in the world to game plan for. The passing improved. It should only get better second year in the new offense. Still needs to do better with more receivers around him. Zay Flowers was, I thought, disappointing last year. Lamar has to bear some weight for that, though I thought more of it was on lack of precision from Zay Flowers. But he's the youngest two-time MVP ever. He's a dominant regular season player who hasn't gotten it done in the postseason yet, but eventually that regular season success will carry over.
Number 6.
Joe Burrow. I mean, this one's easy. If he's healthy, they win. If he's healthy, they're in the AFC Championship game. They're in the Super Bowl. He's only played 4 years. You got a long prime left. Crazy accurate. Unbelievable winner in college and the pros. There's no question Joe Burrow's a franchise quarterback.
Number 7.
My guy, Caleb Williams. Sorry, Ashley. I know you're a doubter. But I mean, this is one of the most talented quarterbacks we've seen come into the NFL in a long time. He enters a great situation. Again, this is QB only, but I'm taking talent, I'm taking upside, and rookie contract. If every quarterback was available to be drafted, he would definitively be a top 10 pick, and it would be based on potential. He's obviously accomplished less than nothing in the NFL, but the upside and the cost, too valuable not to have at this spot on the list.
Number 8.
It's basically the exact different argument than Caleb Williams. Dak Prescott, he's 30. He's in his prime. He's about to be really expensive. He'll be the first $60 million per year man in NFL history. But you know you're getting a top 10 quarterback. Now, has he had his moments in the playoffs? Of course. Have we seen him without a number one receiver? We haven't. He had Des Bryant, he had Amari Cooper, he's had CeeDee Lamb. But this guy produces. They led the league in points. He led the league in touchdown passes. He's not just handing the ball off and being super conservative. He'll push the ball down the field. He'll work it to the middle of the field. Dak Prescott comes in at number 8.
Number 9.
This one's tough for me as a Bears fan, but Jordan Love. Isn't it a little sickening that the Packers maybe did this 3 times in a row and went from Favre to Rodgers to Love? And the guy just holds the ball down there at his waist like Rodgers did, and he flicks it with a little flick of the wrist, and it goes exactly where he wants it to go, and he does the little ball fakes. Frankly, it's disgusting. But he's excellent. He finished the season 23 touchdown passes, a 112 passer rating in his last 10 games, including the playoffs. Those were the best marks of any player in football. It doesn't feel like a fluke. Jordan Love, a little bit more expensive than Caleb, which is the only reason he's below him, but he looks like he's going to be a force for the next decade.
Number 10.
This one was tough. There we go. Trevor Lawrence, too many turnovers, but there's been turnover with coaching and skill position group. He clearly looks the part. He finished last season strong. The arm talent is ridiculous. I finally, Brian Thomas Jr. with Christian Kirk, with Ingram, with ETN. It's a better group around him, even though they lost Calvin Ridley, but it's a deep group. If not now, when? But I still think Trevor Lawrence would be up there. Toughest omission for me, it wasn't Purdy. It's a weird situation to evaluate. It's not Hurts. Don't love how that one's going to age, and he's crazy expensive. Stafford and Rodgers, too old. Anthony Richardson is going to be an absolute monster, and I love Drake May, but he's in such a bad situation, I don't know if it'll ruin him. But Richardson and May were the first guys out. Jared Goff, also an excellent player, productive. When he's pressured, real tough situation, though. The numbers plummet. So I don't know about Goff in a less than ideal situation. Accurate guy, highly productive. They can win a Super Bowl with him. But the reason of winning because of him, I think that's a little bit of a tougher sell. But now let's bring in Rick Bucher.
The star-studded roster packed with champions like LeBron, Steph, Durant, and head coach Steve Kerr knows that they've put together a very special group. He said from a standpoint of career achievement, this is probably the most decorated team since the Dream Team. If anyone knows talent, it is Steve Kerr. He played alongside MJ, Tim Duncan. He was coached by Phil Jackson, Popovich. He has seen it all. I believe him when we're talking scouting talent. He said every player on this roster is a Hall of Famer. And I think what people have to understand when we talk about this, it's not a knock on the Dream Team. We're not saying, and some people are saying, but we are not saying that this is a team better, they could beat the Dream Team. It's apples to oranges. These are different eras. This is a different time, different guys in their prime, out of their prime. We have a young generation on this team. We have stars on this team. It's a different kind of Dream Team. It's a modern Dream Team.
Yeah, listen, I do think top to bottom, it is a better roster than the Dream Team in terms of like the literal definition of what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Like, who's the 12th man on Team USA? Pick one. Is it Tyrese Halliburton?
Probably.
Is it Drew Holiday? Is it Devin Booker? Like, if it's Drew Holiday, he's all NBA defense. He's one of the best defensive players in the world. Yeah. If it's Tyrese Halliburton, he's one of the best stat stuffer, young, athletic, blazing fast guards in the NBA. If it's Devin Booker, it's a guy who can drop 50, 60, 70, like one of the best scorers and shooters. Those are the guys that would be in the argument for 10th, 11th, 12th man. On the Dream Team, you got a college player in Christian Laettner. Larry Bird was 35. His back was in horrendous shape. Magic in 92. He was, not too terribly far away from retiring. Michael Jordan was the face of basketball, was the face of the world. He was a global icon. He had one title. So it was, we kind of put it back on him. Well, look at what he accomplished afterwards. In terms of actual accomplishments, you add up what KD's accomplished, what Steph's accomplished, what LeBron James has accomplished. At the moment that they're on Team USA, they do have more accomplishments at the moment that they sign up for Team USA than the Dream Team did. Mm-hmm. Again, Dream Team, first time NBA players, could play internationally, mattered significantly culturally, changed the sport of basketball, changed the world in some ways. I'm not saying this is a more important team. It's not. But Steve Kerr's not wrong. Now, is Tyrese Halliburton for sure a Hall of Famer? No, not yet. But he's, 24? Is Bam for sure a Hall of Famer? No, not yet. But these guys have a decade left in their career, and they're definitely pacing to being Hall of Famers.
And then there's the factor of the evolution of the European